Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Justin Mormouth. Tonight, 10 people, including teens, facing charges for what the Volusia Sheriff calls a brutal assault and battery incident that happened over the weekend. It left 4 people in the hospital with significant injuries, all of it recorded by someone.
Yeah, we know 4 people were arrested this morning, and the sheriff's office is preparing for others to turn themselves in. News 6's Molly Reed has new video of the incident and details of how it happened.
The sheriff thinks they will have all 10 people who were involved in custody by the end of the day. Now, this is way off the beaten path here in De Leon Springs, off of a dirt road, and you can see it's where they had a bonfire, and it's where the sheriff says they filmed that violent brawl. He says the actual party, though, started at another property just like this over in Deltona.
There's a bunch of people in the back of a pickup truck, and they start jumping up and down in the pickup truck or doing whatever, and the owner of the truck kind of thinks it'll be funny. He puts the truck in gear, pulls out, and the people fall off the back of the truck.
The bonfire party then moves here to De Leon Springs. Video shows the fight that breaks out here over the truck incident. The sheriff says the ages of those involved range from teenagers to young adults, with 4 arrested so far. Punching, pushing, using brass knuckles, stomping the victims in the head.
These victims were beat down in what I would describe as a mob mentality. It's like a wolf pack just beating down somebody for pulling a practical joke that they didn't like.
The sheriff says it won't just be charges tied to the violence, though. He says one of the suspects actually picked up one of the victims' wallets while here, and the group went to breakfast with it the next day.
That's how many times we have been through the video to identify who was involved, that they caught that, and then were able to ascertain through other interviews that, hey, my credit cards were used.
One of the suspects even posted the video to social media.
Why use your phone to do the right thing and call 911? Or why not get in there on that beatdown when you see all these people stomping somebody into the ground? Why doesn't some common sense kick in and say, oh my God, somebody can end up dead here?
Now, as you can see at this spot with all the different littered beer cans and bottles everywhere, this is not the first time a group has been back here to party. The sheriff says they know of a couple other spots in the county, including that other one in Deltona, that they're going to be trying to track down the landowners and hopefully make these trespass sites to deter people from coming back here to do this in the future. In Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed getting results, News 6.
All right, turning to our forecast now. Keep it coming. That's all I can say. Just keep it coming.
We got it.
Copy and paste, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. Can you do that for us?
I can, although I'll do you one better. We'll get you a little more sunshine tomorrow than we had today. We started to see a few more breaks in the clouds deeper this afternoon, and we'll get even more tomorrow. Right now in Wildwood, good evening. We are at 61. Palm Bay, we're checking in at 68. Same deal for us just up the road in Melbourne. We're at 68 as well. West Melbourne, we're back to the upper 60s. Titusville and the Mims, we're right around 70. Oviedo, we're checking in at 69 degrees. It's going to be a mild night, relatively speaking. Still might want the light jacket when you start the day tomorrow, but all things considered, again, pretty seasonable for this time of the year. Satellite and radar showing us the extra clouds that we have going through Central Florida right now. I think we're going to get rid of some of those clouds overnight, and then especially during the day tomorrow. You see that here in your hour-by-hour forecast. Just a few clouds. We'll call it partly cloudy. By 9 o'clock, we're into the mid-60s. We're staying in the 60s on the other side of midnight. Most of us wake up into the 50s with a few upper 40s sprinkled in. We're going to talk much more about that and when we could threaten some records on the high temperature side, guys, coming up at about 6:47.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Jonathan. Orlando Health is hoping to reach even more people struggling with opioid use with the expansion of its Opioid Navigator program.
Yeah, this was launched in 2019 at Orlando Health Regional Medical Center and provides crucial support to patients who need help. But as News 6's Emily McLeod explains, even though someone may not be ready for treatment, Orlando Health is there waiting when they are.
Being able to expand and grow this program is, basically like living a dream for me.
Jamie Bridges is the director of the Opioid Substance Use Disorders Program at Orlando Health. Bridges is also a former police officer who is now in recovery herself.
Tell me a little bit about your journey and what it's like to be on the other side of this, giving back to people in this way.
It's interesting. I can tell you it was, I don't even know, what 2014 years ago? 14 years ago when I left law enforcement, and not on my own terms, but in decisions that were made with an addict brain, and I wasn't myself in that regard, but I never would have dreamed that I would be standing here.
Bridges has seen the Opioid Navigator program grow over the years since its start back in 2019. Now the program is expanding to the Dr. P. Phillips Hospital and Health Central Hospital after Orlando Health received a portion of settlement funds that were distributed to Orange County from national litigation involving companies that made, sold, or distributed opioid painkillers. The funds received from the settlement will add 2 more opioid navigators who are licensed clinical social workers and underwrite salaries for 2 certified recovery peer specialists.
This program allows our peers to follow them for 90 days. They meet with them weekly with working on treatment plans, working on what are your goals. They meet at coffee shops. Sometimes they may do it over the phone if the person's working or the peer can't get to them for whatever reason. But they meet weekly for that 90 days and they work through treatment plans and goals.
Bridges realizes not all patients are ready to get help, but their offer always stands.
If they say, I'm not ready for all that, but I'll at least take some Narcan and your phone number, to me, that's success.
Right.
They didn't tell me they didn't care and they didn't want to talk to me. They said they'll take my phone number and they'll call when they're ready.
In Orlando, Emily McLeod, Getting Results, News 6.
Governor Ron DeSantis plans to veto an immigration bill passed by Florida's Republican-led legislature. The bill increases penalties for undocumented immigrants, ends in-state tuition for them, and creates a chief immigration officer. In a rare move, lawmakers rejected DeSantis' proposal during a special session. The governor calls the bill, quote, weak.
To have designed a bill like that, you don't have the approach. You don't believe in what we believe in terms of strong borders, big deportation program, rule of law, protecting families, protecting communities.
House Speaker Daniel Perez fired back, saying the measure is the most aggressive and the most effective immigration bill in the country.
Threatening others to get your way isn't leadership, it's immaturity. The people of our state deserve better.
It's unclear when the legislature will send the immigration bill to DeSantis or whether the governor will call lawmakers back to Tallahassee yet again. Regular legislative session starts on March 4th.
One city in Volusia County has just put one public school, but plans to build a new K-8 may be headed back to the drawing board. Volusia County Schools hit the pause button on selling land in DeBary that was set aside for a new school off of Buckley Drive. It's close to that Sunrail station there. A development firm wants to build 200 homes on that land, and the city wanted to build the new school there. But the Florida Department of Education said the area is unfit for a school due to unsafe walking conditions and possible site contamination.
I just want to thank the superintendent. I think it's important that folks understand there was a lot of misconceptions on that item when it was put on the agenda. And so as we continue to work with our municipal partners in making the school a reality in DeBary, I think it's very prudent to not consider this today. So thank you for pulling that as we continue to work with our municipal partners.
Volusia County Schools did not share when it plans to talk about the property again. To see the other site where the district wants to build a new school, head to clickorlando.com.
An update now in the ongoing money battle between Orange County and its former supervisor of elections, Glenn Gilzine. He's under fire after county leaders say he gave more than $4 million in surplus budget money to Valencia College and Career Source Central Florida. Yesterday, the new supervisor of elections announced Valencia College will be giving that money back.
Our budget remains precarious, but I am happy to report that Valencia College, when they said that all you need to do is ask and they would return the money, we have asked, and as of yesterday they reached out to our general counsel Nick Shanine, and they have an agreement in principle.
According to the county, Gilzine gave Valencia College more than $2 million for the Future Scholarship Fund. The university is expected to return the money after getting approval from the board.
Let's take a look at what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. Another Buc-ee's location in Florida, one step closer to becoming reality. According to Florida Today, Buc-ee's submitted its final site application to St. Lucie County for a location north of Fort Pierce. This would mark the 4th location in the state, with other locations in Daytona Beach, St. Augustine, and then the one developing in Ocala. For more information on what to expect when you head to a Buc-ee's store, you can check out News 6's First-Time Visitor Guide on clickorlando.com.
It'll be your first time, but it won't be your last. There was a
No.
woman I saw on Instagram. Her whole thing is she goes into Buc-ee's and tries on the clothes there.
Yeah.
And there was a Buc-ee's swimsuit. It was kind of cute.
They literally have everything.
They really do.
It's you'll be
fascinating.
overwhelmed, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Just if you haven't been to a Buc-ee's and you expect to just go in there real quick, no, because you're going to be distracted. You're going to go want to check out some other stuff.
Correct.
There's so many little snacks.
Make some time and try the brisket.
Oh, yeah.
Here are some of the other stories trending right now over on clickorlando.com. A famous Massachusetts-based pizzeria recently opened its first location in the Sunshine State. Sal's Pizza, a walk-up concept, opened on Friday at Live at the Point on International Drive. They will offer a pizza by the slice, both cheese and pepperoni, and their 19-inch pie with a variety of toppings. We have the address and hours listed on our website, so you can check that out. The world's first pickleball stadium opens in Florida. Oh boy. Located in Fort Lauderdale, the complex spans 9 acres and features 43 courts, a lakeside entertainment complex, dining, and retail. So if you're a pickleball enthusiast, we have all the information about this insane complex on clickorlando.com. It has exploded in the past few years.
Ginger, I'm just waiting.
For what?
For that excitement to start to teeter. It can't. It cannot continue. I don't think
according to that 9-acre complex, it can.
All right.
It's going.
I guess I'm the only one in the world. I've never played once.
Okay.
And so I can, It's like flying first class. I like to tell people I've never flown first class, never played pickleball. It's just like a little fun fact about me, and I'm going to keep it that way. I'm a weirdo.
A local police department has a new way of keeping everyone safe during arrest.
They're using a new full-body harness to restrain suspects. Coming up, News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken shows us how it's making a difference in protecting our community. You're watching News 6 at 6:30, live on News 6 Plus, getting results in Altamont Springs, Wildwood, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
A major upgrade in the way that police restrain someone who's fighting back. Instead of just strapping together a suspect's legs, the Castleberry Police Department is now using a full-body harness.
Yeah, and it's not just to protect them or the suspect, but anyone close by. News 6's anchor Eric Von Anken gets a first-hand look at the wrap and how it's getting results protecting our community.
That is the wrap. We are here inside the Castleberry Police Department with Corporal Stanley and her team. Corporal, what is this?
Exactly what you said, sir. This is the wrap. It's a restraining device that we use out on patrol.
A restraining device. There are situations regularly where you must restrain someone.
Yes, sir.
For their own safety and for your safety.
For the safety of the officers and the individual that's under arrest or in protective custody. Examples are a drunk individual or someone under the influence of drugs.
Hold on.
Or maybe someone who's having a mental breakdown.
What did you use before all this?
Before all of this, we used the hobble restraint device.
The hobble. So that's a leg restraint device.
Only a leg restraint device, yes, sir.
Okay, which could be dangerous because the person can still move their upper body.
Yes, sir, that is correct. And with this device, it restrains the legs, the torso, and the chest.
Would you show me how this works, please?
For sure. Hands behind your back.
Okay, Corporal Stanley just put Corporal Saavedra in handcuffs because this corporal is going to act as our suspect. I should point out you're one of the trainers.
I am. They're going to go ahead and escort me to the ground, so once I'm pulling, go ahead. And now we're going to strap those buckles right into position. Pull me up into a seated position. Straps to the legs, you're gonna pull that. Give it a pull. There we go. So right there, I cannot come back very far. So then when we're moving into transport, the two officers will grab from the arms and the handles here, lift, and take to the patrol vehicle.
It doesn't look comfortable.
Absolutely not.
He's sweating.
You know we call this segment Getting Results Protecting Our Community. You say that this is absolutely protecting our community.
Absolutely, because if it continued and we can't restrain a subject like this, what's to say they get away from our grasp and then decide to hurt somebody out in the community?
It protects you, it protects them, and it protects any bystanders, family members even.
Even family members, anybody that could be standing by.
Protecting our community in Castleberry, Eric Von Anken, Getting Results. News 6.
That looked intense.
Wow. That is something. I don't want to be put in that thing.
Don't break the law.
So far, the PD has given one wrap to each patrol unit, and they're going to be putting more in more patrol cars. Police say the device actually has a calming effect on suspects. They've calmed themselves once they're wrapped up because they can't really do anything else. That makes a lot of sense.
I
that
guess
makes a
it
lot
does,
of sense, and especially if you're claustrophobic, might pass out.
Maybe, but he said they use it on people who are drunk or under the influence of drugs, and those people generally, typically tend to be pretty belligerent and don't calm down. But I hope that works and keeps everyone safe.
That was incredible.
Yeah, it was.
That was something
that was
right
interesting.
there. Thank you, Eric. All right, here's a live look outside. Launch Credit Union Port Cam at Port Canaveral. Got a launch tonight.
I think that window opens a little after 8 o'clock, just before 8:30 tonight, a 2-hour window.
A little 2-hour window for you in case you're out and about and you see something streaking across the sky.
It's just SpaceX.
Just SpaceX doing one of their, many launches.
Yeah.
And the weather's been really nice as well. And meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us. The weather is not going to be an issue for that. If anything, it'll be technical, I'd imagine.
That's correct.
If it doesn't go off.
That's
it
right,
likely will.
95% shot go from the weather. Just a few, the thick cloud roll is the only thing, and the clouds are looking fine right now at the spaceport. So I think that goes off again, other than a technical issue, which none of us can control. Can't control the weather either, but at least we can forecast it. That's the thing. Sunny tomorrow, a little more sunshine anyway. I think we'll still see that sun-cloud mixture, but now we start to break out the sunshine just a little bit more. We're going to turn things warm tomorrow. We've been warm, but even warmer as we get into the end of the work week on Friday. We could be pushing record territory as we get into Friday afternoon. Then we're going to go back down a little bit with a weak cold front. Could also see a few showers with that on Saturday. They will be light. They will be few and far between, but we will see extra clouds back out of the deal on Saturday. Right now, 70 degrees. It's been a while since it's been 70 just before 7 o'clock at night. The breeze out of the west at about 5 miles an hour. That's a live look with our Light Orlando delivering Hope Skycam in downtown Orlando. Right now, we're at 59 in Wildwood, 65 in the Villages, Mount Dora. Good evening. We are back into the mid-60s. We are at 68 degrees in Mico. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
We're going to watch for some fog to develop again, mainly to the west of Orlando. So if you slice that map in half, really to the west of Orlando, again, closer to the I-75 corridor, just like where we saw it today for the most part. Some patchy fog closer to 95, where we're going to wake up to temperatures in the 50s tomorrow, 51 in Palm Coast, 53 degrees in Titusville, and the low 50s in Oviedo tomorrow. Big chunk of high pressure sliding back out into the Atlantic. That is going to shift our wind direction to a southerly component and pump in some of that extra warmth. So we're going to add a few more degrees on what we had today. We were in the low to mid 70s. We're going to be back to the mid to upper 70s tomorrow. And it's all out ahead of a bigger storm system. You see that here, the darker reds and oranges indicating some stronger thunderstorm potential for Texas and Louisiana. This orange shaded color here, that's the temperature. Watch that get a little darker and turn almost on the red side. That is going to be some very, very warm air pushing up ahead of our next cold front. Warm day on Friday, slightly cooler on Saturday. We're also going to increase rain chances just a bit as we get into Saturday. Right now, rain chances are only at 20%, so not a huge deal with that, and not even a huge temperature drop. Pinpointing your 7-day forecast right here, we're back to the mid-70s tomorrow. We're going to jump into the low to even mid-80s on Friday. Again, records for the day on Friday are in the mid-80s, so we're going to be in the same ballpark. 75 degrees on Saturday, so that's our chill. That's our cool down that's coming. Rain chances, you see it there, going up slightly, only 20% though. It's looking very, very nice for the Pro Bowl as well. I think we'll still keep a few extra clouds around, but temperatures get back to the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. That's also Groundhog's Day, if you believe what that thing says up in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. We're right around 80 degrees on Tuesday. We're staying, guys, in the low 80s on Wednesday.
I like it. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, local law enforcement agencies putting their emergency response to the test.
Today, they came together for a large-scale exercise at the Orange County Convention Center. News 6's Darrell Baker shows us how it prepares them for an attack.
This is just a drill. Actors with fake blood and weapons playing out mass shootings and other violent attacks at the Orange County Convention Center to prepare local first responders for the real thing.
This exercise has been well in planning for over a year, and it just happens to be a coincidence that it's similar to what happened in New Orleans.
Officials say they've seen a rise in dangerous attacks over the last decade, especially in large facilities.
Our staff tirelessly looks and searches and researches and plans for every type of contingency.
That's why they're training with the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency to neutralize threats, carry victims to safety, and control crowds and more.
Last year, we started seeing a string of active shooter events with fire being used. So last year, our drill was focused on active shooter drill with fire as a weapon.
Now, CISA says this is the first time they used a convention center to do a large-scale exercise like this. However, Orange County says that they've done several exercises like this at the Millennium Mall and several other places.
After the Paris attacks, we looked at the Performing Arts Center. We looked at the Amway or the Kia Center. So we've looked at all these different type of events, and we compare our area to other places.
The exercise lasting around 90 minutes with more than 300 people participating. Afterwards, first responders evaluated their efforts. In Orlando, Jarrell Baker getting results, News 6.
New pressure to replace a soup kitchen and start building apartments for the homeless. In Melbourne, where helping the homeless has become a big issue in recent years, the City Council is calling on the Daily Bread Outreach Center to close within months, not 2 years as previously expected. News 6's James Barbero was just there a couple of weeks ago talking about the shelter's plans for its new development expected to open in 2027. Well, James went back to hear what closing could mean for those who need that help the most.
So when it's gone, we're not gonna have somewhere where we can go get a hot meal or a shower or clothing. You know, other places we can do, you get food, like a food pantry, but not like the bread.
When it does close, the Daily Bread says it is still hoping to bring hot food and showers to people, but through mobile outreach like food trucks. We'll update you when they agree on a closing date.
I'll tell you what, they do a lot of great work, and I know that
They really do.
they're,
And a lot of people depend on them.
a lot of people depend on it, and we'll see what happens with that, and hopefully the people can continue to get the help that they need. So we'll be right back.
Coming up in the morning, tackling Orange County's transportation issues.
Voters mandated a new group look at the issue, but what exactly will they really be able to accomplish? We're digging into that.
Plus, your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 mornings 5 to 7.
Your Wednesday evening traffic alert. You will see some ramp closures out here. I-4 State Road 44 in Volusia County, both east and westbound. Again, at State Road 44 overnight. So from about 9 o'clock at night, we've been good till about 6 o'clock in the morning. Hasn't caused any major issues, but as always, need you to make sure you're paying attention. 417, we'll see some ramp work as well at Moss Park in the northbound direction. Some great detours have been set up. Of course, just make sure you're paying attention, and it's a no phone zone. I'm Trooper Steve with the News 6 Traffic Alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
Well, a new proposal for Groundhog Day could give us a taste of the weather.
So as the end of January approaches, of course, so does Groundhog Day. On the second day of February, the groundhog rises from the burrow to determine if there will be a longer winter or an early spring. Everyone follows it. Well, PETA has suggested a new idea for the groundhog ceremony, a cake. So
What?
PETA says they'll deliver a cake, a vegan cake.
Of course.
Similar to the ones at gender reveal parties, to determine the season, with either blue or pink on the inside. So blue would mean 6 more weeks of winter, pink would mean an early spring. In exchange, they ask that the groundhog retires from his duties and lives with his family at a sanctuary.
I mean, I know it's not science-based with Phil, Puxatawny Phil, but he sees a shadow. What's the cake gonna see?
Exactly. That means
it's
they
already
make it up.
predetermined. Yeah.
And then, by the way, Phil works one day a year.
And not even as hard as Santa. I mean, he gets
One day.
treated very well.
He does.
He
Obviously well fed. You saw him there.
Clearly.
Yeah, this
his
is
little
not.
face.
Phil is double the size.
This
of
is
that
a
groundhog.
normal. This is a normal guy.
Yeah.
Punxsutawney.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He's
just-
living large, so he's
Literally.
eating cake.
Leave Phil alone.
I can
Leave
tell you
him
this:
alone.
that proposal did not go over well in Pennsylvania.
Cake.
Oh, I can imagine.
Punxsutawney feels a king there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
You do know.
he's
Hey,
amazing.
Thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30.
We stream news anytime on News 6 Plus, and we break news on ClickOrlando.com. See you back at 11.
Hands off of Phil.
See ya.